Saints, this message shouldn't take too long. I have a lot of Muslims inboxing me. Majority of them are threats. And if you're watching, your threats mean absolutely nothing. I'm not scared of you. If you come after me and my family, I will kill you. And I'm not playing games. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, when you are preaching the gospel, you get threats like that. So if you Muslims think that are threatening me that I'm just going to stand there and let you come after me and my family, you're mistaken. I pray to Jesus Christ that he keeps you away, because if you come to my property, I will kill you to defend my family. Now that we got that clear and out of the way, some of them sent messages like how Islam is peaceful and how they accuse people that speak out against it of promoting hate and being Islamophobic. That is utter bullcrap. Islam is not peaceful, and this is the response I gave them. If you believe Islam is peaceful, then explain why in your verse in the Quran it says to put terror in the hearts of those that reject Islam, that do not submit to their false moon god Allah, who is Satan, or their dead false pedophile prophet Muhammad. Why does it say kill the Christians and Jews? And why the hostility towards Christians? Because they know that Christianity is the truth and is obviously a major threat to Islam, as are the Jewish people. Because God promised the land, God, who Jesus Christ, promised Israel to the Jewish people, not a bunch of Muslims with big foreheads and wide-spaced eyes that you could just, before their eyes are so spread apart on their big head, you could put 4 football fields there and still have plenty of room. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to mock anyone, I'm just being honest. So they swear up and down that their cult is peaceful. Okay, but then why are all these Muslims raping people in Europe? And why do they beat women? Read Surah 434, I believe, in the Quran. And why do they treat women as their property? Women are nothing, they're less than dogs. Also, in Islam encourages lying. The Quran teaches that Muslims should lie if they feel compelled to. In other words, to entrap the enemy, the infidel, which is you and me if you're not a Muslim, to befriend them and get them to trust you, and then they'll turn on you. They even go as far as pretending to be Christians. You see, the Quran teaches for them to integrate in every part of society, pretend to be a part of society in order for the right time to strike the enemy, which again they deem that me and you as non-Muslims, if you're not a Muslim. If you're a Muslim, I suggest, I'm not going to hold back in this video. If this is going to offend you, oh well, hit stop. They teach in the Quran to lie to advance the faith, to lie to trap the enemy, to subdue a person. They teach it to lie whenever a Muslim feels compelled to. They even lie their own life. The Quran also advocates crucifying and cutting the limbs off a Christian. Now, here's what I want to tell you. If Muslims do not believe Jesus was crucified, why do they have in their Quran to crucify Christians and cut off their limbs? The reason why I say that is because that verse that says crucify the Christians has to come from somewhere. Meaning, they came up with that reason because Muslims hate Christians See, Muhammad was a sick false prophet. He's dead. He's in hell. He was inspired by Satan to write the Quran. Satan hates Jesus Christ. See, Jesus Christ defeated Satan on the cross. Satan wanted revenge, so he conspired this brilliant plan to cause billions of people to be deceived. 2 billion to be exact, right now. And what that is for Satan, more souls for him. So he found some sick, gullible pedophile to pervert, in other words, to possess. Allah is a false god. He recruited a pedophile that cannot read. So how does he expect him to deliver messages if he cannot read? In the hadith it says that Gabriel came to Muhammad and he was beating him up because he was trying to get him to read the Quran, and then Muhammad said he can't read. You see the irony in this? And it wasn't the real Gabriel. It was obviously Satan masquerading as Gabriel, because the Bible warns that Satan can masquerade as an angel of light. So the Quran teaches to lie, encourages sin. That's what Satan does. The Quran calls Allah the greatest deceiver. The Bible calls him the father of lies, meaning Satan. So you see all these videos and all these violent acts by Muslims, and then the Quran teaches to kill the Jews and Christians because, again, they're threatened by Christianity. They know that Jesus Christ was crucified. Muhammad knows that. He just tried to deny it because he wanted to build a cult. Again, he was fully possessed by Satan. Otherwise, if they didn't have any inclination that Jesus Christ was crucified, why say crucify the Christians? The reason why they say crucify the Christians because it's a mockery to Jesus Christ's crucifixion on the cross. So they're raping people, the migrants in Europe, and here in the United States, all over the world. They beat women. They hate them. They kill you if you reject the faith. So how is that peaceful? And I pose these questions to them with scriptures. And then they say to me, well, you can't believe what the mainstream media says. I said, this is not mainstream media news. Mainstream media news shows what's going on in these countries with Muslims. And so does non-mainstream media news. I'm not saying mainstream media news is perfect, but they show what's going on to a certain degree. And so does non-mainstream media news shows more about Muslims beating women and the beheadings and the rapes. Those Muslims are devout Muslims. They are practicing actually what is in the Quran. And honor killings is in the Quran. Honor killing is when a family member, let's say it's a Muslim family member, and they have, it's a Muslim family, they have a family member, let's say that is basically abandoning the Islamic faith. They're becoming accustomed to the culture that they're in and not accustomed to the Islamic culture. The way that they see it is that that person is leaving Islam, and that's called apostasy. If a Muslim leaves Islam, that's called apostasy. The penalty is death. So what they do is they will kill that family member, because if they don't, their family name will be disgraced. So you see, when a family member out of a Muslim family leaves the family, the household name of that family is in jeopardy of being dishonored. So to restore that honor, they do these honor killings, hence the name honor killings, because it restores the honor of that Muslim family. And it's really sick. You can't make this stuff up. So I explained this to them with scriptures. I said, if your religion is so peaceful, why is this, that happening? I gave them examples that I gave you. I get no responses. If Islam wishes to pose themselves as a peaceful religion, perhaps they need to start acting it and rewrite the entire Quran. In fact, drop Islam altogether, because Islam is a cult by a sick, demented, corrupt, false pedophile prophet. 2 billion, I can't believe that 2 billion people are stupid enough to follow and believe the testimony of one man who claims the crucifixion never happened, has no backing to support what he's saying. There's no proof of this false prophet anywhere in history. Anywhere. But Jesus Christ, who committed no sin, is sinless, is beautiful, performed miracles, helped people, preached forgiveness and love. Okay? There's various texts, even historians and scholars, that talk about the life of Jesus Christ and the archaeological findings that confirm the Bible and the existence of Jesus Christ and the miracles he did. And also, the other thing I wanted to mention as well is that Jesus Christ's birth was prophesied not only in the Bible but in the book of Enoch. Various ancient texts besides the Bible, I'm talking about non-biblical sources, prophesied the coming of a Messiah, and that was Jesus Christ. If you read the Quran says that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, and he's called the Messiah, and he performed miracles, and when he passed on, their Jesus anyway, he was raised up to Allah. So if Muhammad was so special, why wasn't he favored by Allah that way? He's nothing. He wasn't even he wasn't even born divinely. So that should give you some reference. If the Quran calls Jesus Christ the Messiah, the chosen one, and he was born of a virgin, that means Jesus Christ is indeed God. Now, a lot of Muslims will try to trick you and get you into converting into Islam by saying, oh, we believe in the same God and we believe in the same Jesus Christ. They don't. Because the Jesus Christ in their Bible is Antichrist spirit that hates Christians and Jews. Okay? Jesus Christ, and then they claim Jesus Christ was a Muslim. Jesus Christ was never a Muslim. He was always, first of all, Hebrew, and he followed the Father, meaning Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is where Christianity began. Christianity has been around for way more than Islam. Islam came about just 600 years after the death of Jesus Christ. We know Jesus Christ is God. He's eternal. Amen. That's when it came about. Not before. Muhammad is just some nobody that just sprang up, wrote a book written by Satan, and then he claims that it's the last revelation. He's the last prophet. That's a bunch of bull. The Quran is of Satan. The Quran's message is different than the Bible. It doesn't coincide. It's inconsistent. There's a lot of contradictions. Look at my video archives of Islam and the contradictions in it. And also check out David Wood. He does an excellent job exposing Islam. Everything he says about Islam is true. 100% accurate. The Quran is so pathetic that it has to use the Torah and the Gospel and the Bible to confirm if it's true. And it's not. Because the Gospel is centered around the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Many saw the resurrection, the death, crucifixion, and resurrection, the miracles Jesus Christ performed. They saw that. They had conversations with them. Many testified to that. Okay? Jesus Christ never lied. He's not a sinner. Many people testified to that. They saw that. So you have the testimony of many. But versus Muhammad claiming to be this prophet is the testimony of one man. And if you question Muhammad or you insult him, he would kill you. The Quran commands you don't question or test the spirits. Jesus Christ says you better test the spirits. You better discern even anyone claiming that they are Jesus Christ or that they're hearing the voice of Jesus Christ. Because God warns that false prophets will arise. He also warned that Christians will be persecuted and of devil's doctrines. The Bible warned about them. Islam is a false doctrine. Muhammad's a false prophet. He persecutes Christians like never before. He's doing it now. Even though he's dead, Muslims do it now. God warned about that in the Bible. So if you Muslims profess Islam is peaceful, it is not. You have proved nothing but. Islam is a cult. That's all it is. So you Muslims that are threatening me, I already gave you my response. I'm going to still keep speaking against your cult. I'm literally scaring hundreds of views away. I get Muslims inboxing me every day with questions about Jesus Christ. Because they don't believe in their faith anymore. And I'm going to keep speaking it forth. I stand boldly for the cross in these last days. Always.